Today is Tuesday, July 28, 2026. Here are the day's main stories. A powerful earthquake has struck Japan's southern main island of Kyushu this Tuesday afternoon, causing damage and injuries.
The earthquake, initially reported at magnitude 7.1 and later revised to 6.8 by the U.S. Geological Survey, shook Kumamoto Prefecture. Officials report a number of injuries, as well as damage to roads, bridges, and buildings. Blackouts and a fire have also been reported, though details remain unclear. Japan's Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi has set up a task force to assess the damage and prepare for rescue operations. There are fears of deaths after a shopping mall blast, with many people reportedly trapped inside. A tsunami advisory was temporarily issued for the nearby Ariake and Yatsushiro seas, but was lifted within 2 hours, according to the Japan Meteorological Agency. Prime Minister Takaichi has warned residents to be careful with fire and broken glass.
President Trump is set to meet separately with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu today.
The meetings will take place before funeral services for the late Senator Lindsey Graham, whose passing NPR reports leaves a void in Washington's support for Ukraine and Israel. Both President Zelensky and Prime Minister Netanyahu are in Washington to pay their respects to Senator Graham, a tenacious advocate for their nations. President Zelensky is seeking to build support for Ukraine's cause against Russia and claims Russia is sharing satellite imagery of U.S. military sites in the Gulf. Prime Minister Netanyahu faces domestic pressures ahead of re-election, partly due to his relationship with President Trump.
In France, authorities have evacuated nearly 4,000 more people from tourist sites on the Atlantic coast this Tuesday. This comes as a new heat wave threatens firefighters, efforts to control a vast wildfire burning west of Bordeaux.
A diplomatic row has erupted at the United Nations Security Council. The U.S. delegation walked out of a meeting on Monday in protest of comments made by France. France had compared Washington's voting on human rights to that of authoritarian states, after the U.S. joined North Korea and Russia in voting against extending the term of the United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights.
Almost 400 Ukrainian drones attacked Moscow and the Moscow region overnight, according to Medusa.
In Iran, 2 protesters from Isfahan have been publicly executed, despite calls from the United Nations to halt the executions. They were convicted of killing 4 police officers during January protests.
Oman has presented Iran with a Gulf-backed proposal for joint control over the Strait of Hormuz, which includes a system of voluntary fees for its use.
That was the NDP Media News Digest. Thanks for listening.